To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
So until 2008, there came one guy called as Satoshi Nakamoto. Now he said, well, let us try to solve this problem with the help of something called as blockchain technology. So he coined a term called as Bitcoin, and he said, let us create a currency called as Bitcoin, which is going to be a cryptocurrency, which will solve the problem of centralization, which will also solve the problem of double spending. Now, how this currency solve this problem, we are going to discuss in the later part of the video. But you need to understand what was the fundamental necessity of using blockchain. Okay, so blockchain is basically going to solve two problems. Which are those two problems? First one is the problem of centralization. The second one is the problem of double spending. When Satoshi Nakamoto was sitting in his room and thinking, how do we solve the problem of centralization and of double spending, he thought that blockchain may solve this particular issue. But even before we talk about how blockchain is solving this issue, let us discuss further on the problem of centralization. The problem of centralization is also called as single point of failure. Now, what do you mean by single point of failure? Let us take one more example to understand this. So, back in those days when internet was launched for the general public, there was one company, the company called as Napster. Now, the company allowed people to share music. So, it was a peer-to-peer music sharing platform. Now, what do you mean by peer-to-peer music sharing platform? Let's say I download one song of Michael Jackson. Okay, I pay 100 rupees and I download the song of Michael Jackson. Now, the music is sitting in my computer. Now, if I were to share this music to my friend, I may use USB cable, or I may use, back in those days, I may use Bluetooth, or I may use infrared. Now, infrared we don't see it, but back in those days it was one of the tool to, or one of the technology to share files. But let us say my friend is not sitting right next to me, he is sitting 1000 kilometers far. Now, how do I share this piece of music to him? So, Napster as a platform allowed me to do so. So, I had to log into Napster and I had to choose my friend and I had to send music to him. Now, as soon as this platform was launched, it became super popular. Thousands and lakhs of people started using this. Now, from a common user's point of view, this particular platform allowed to share music without paying any money. But at the same time, the music producers, the singers, the band, they were enraged by this. They were very angry because of this particular platform, because people were sharing music, people were downloading music without paying even single rupee to this company. So these artists, these music companies filed a case against Napster. They said, because Napster allows peer-to-peer sharing of files, we are not making any revenue. Court accepted their complaint and they directed Napster, saying that you cannot do this. Because of you, these companies are suffering revenue loss. You need to shut down your company. Now, when court issued that order, it issued to Napster company central authority, the person who was running this particular company. As soon as he received this order, he had to shut down the company. I am cutting the long story short. As soon as the court issued the order, Napster company's entire business model failed and they had to shut down. Now, why they had to shut down? Because there was single point of failure. So, everything was done by one person. So, as soon as court catches hold of that person, court can shut it down. So, this was the story of Napster. At the same time, there was one more platform, something called as torrents. Now, most of you might already know what torrents is, but if you don't know, or for the benefit of everybody, let me explain you what torrents is all about. Even torrents is a peer-to-peer sharing platform. For example, let us say that I have a copy of some movie. I downloaded some copy of movie. Let us say I downloaded a movie called as Bahubali. Okay, so now this movie is in my computer, in my laptop. Now, I want to share it to my friend. If he is right next to me, then I can give the movie in the pen drive. But let us say he is not right next to me. He is some 1000 kilometers far. How am I going to do so? Now, I could use torrents. I could use a particular software, something called as BitTorrent, to share file. So, again, this was a peer-to-peer. So, a friend is sharing file to another friend. So, all the files were shared between a community, a group of users. So, when court understood that there is this company which allows sharing of movies, sharing of files, sharing of songs, Now court wanted to issue notice, but whom did they issue notice? This company had no central authority. There was no one big office which had put board outside it calling as BitTorrents for the court to issue notice, for government to take actions, for the police to arrest. So this entire software or the entire platform were run by common people. It was run by peers. So if you don't have one single office, if you don't have a central authority, then government cannot control you, police cannot control you, courts cannot control you. So Satoshi Nakamoto took these two products. He said, okay, Napster was closed down because they had single point of failure. But BitTorrents, they could not close it or could not shut it down because it did not have a single point of failure. So he understood, if he wants to make a currency, if he wants to make a digital currency, the first thing he has to do is he should get done, or he should get away from a concept of single point of failure, get away with the concept of centralization. He should run that entire platform with the help of only peers, only with the help of community, so that court cannot shut it down. So that is the first thing. Now let us talk about the second problem, that is double spending. To understand the problem of double spending, let us take one more example. Say, my friend transferred 10,000 rupees to my bank account. Now, my bank records this in their software. Okay, so it says I have 10,000 rupees with me. Now, if I want to transfer out of this 10,000 rupees, 8,000 rupees to my friend, can I transfer? So, before I transfer, bank will first check to transfer 8,000 rupees. Do I have 8,000 rupees in my bank? So, while checking, bank will find out that yes, I can transfer 8,000 rupees because I already have 10,000 rupees in my bank account. But alternatively, let us say, instead of transferring 10,000 rupees, I want to transfer 20,000 rupees. Can I do so? No. Why not? Because the banking software will check. The banking software will check that whether I have 20,000 rupees or not. So when they check, the software will say I only have 10,000 rupees. So the transaction of sending 20,000 rupees will fail. So this is a general understanding which I am sure everybody one of us has. Now the question is, what stops a banking employee? Okay, what stops a banking employee who has custody or control of this particular software from passing dummy entries? Let us say one person has control of this banking software. Okay, so what he is going to do? He will say, my friend transferred only 10,000 rupees, but he will add one more extra zero to that. He will add one more extra zero to that. Now what is my bank balance? It is 1 lakh rupees. Now if I want to transfer 20,000 rupees, the software will allow. Are you understanding what exactly the problem is? How much money came into my account? Only 10,000 rupees. But because I have a very good relation with the person who controls this entire CBS, he may add one more zero, then the software will allow me to transfer 20,000 rupees. Now you may say this is all hypothetical situation, it may not happen. Well, we don't know because we don't control that software. The banking software is controlled by banking companies, so we never have an access to that software. So the person who has ultimate control of that software can do anything that he wants. He can create funds out of thin air, he can waive off the loan. As long as he is the person who has authority or control over controlling this software, he can do anything that he wants. So Satoshi Nakamoto thought, let one person not have control over this software. Let one person not have control over this database. So this database is the place where it is recorded that I have 10,000 rupees. So he said, let one person not check whether I have 10,000 rupees or not. Let everybody see all the transaction that I do. And let everybody decide that whether I have 10,000 rupees or more than 10,000 rupees. So it will work something like this. Let us say somebody gave me 10,000 rupees. Now this is not a private transaction. Everybody can see this. Okay, everybody can see that somebody gave me 10,000 rupees. So what is my balance? It is 10,000 rupees. Now if I want to transfer 20,000 rupees, everybody can see that I am attempting to transfer 20,000 rupees. Now others will not approve this transaction. Okay, so now it is not approved by one person, it is not even approved by me, or it is not approved by my friend. This transaction has to be approved by entire community. Let us say 100 people are using the same platform to do money transfer. So all the 100 people can see whether I have 20,000 rupees or not. If I don't have 20,000 rupees, then I cannot transfer 20,000 rupees to somebody else. So what he did is, he turned CBS inside out. He said, let only one person not have control over this database, let everybody see this. So once everybody can see this, let everybody approve this transaction. So when everybody is approving this transaction, they will not approve a transaction which is not permitted. Now what is not permitted here? If I have 10,000 rupees, I cannot transfer 20,000 rupees. Now how it is done? We will go through how blockchain actually functions. I will also show you how this is actually verified and how a transaction is approved. But fundamentally what I want you to understand at this point is, blockchain ensures that double spending is not done. How? First one is, all the transactions are made public. That is, if I receive 10,000 rupees, everybody can see. If I am transferring 10,000 rupees, everybody can see. Not only they can see, but also they are the ones who will approve this transaction. So if they don't approve the transaction, then I cannot transfer my money to somebody else. So Satoshi Nakamoto thought, we can use blockchain to solve these two problems. The first one is the problem of centralization. He said, let us make the entire blockchain distributed. That is, there won't be one person who will control this database. Everybody in the community, everybody who is using that particular platform will control it. So court cannot shut it down by issuing an order. Even if court shuts down 10 computers, there will be 1,000 other computers which runs the copy of this database. So first thing is, he made it distributed. Second one is, he made it public. By making it public, he tried to solve the problem of double spending. So once everybody is aware of what I am trying to do, they will not approve any transaction which is not permitted.